Kimberly Michelle McIntosh was born on February 16, 1970, and at the time she went missing, she was just 34 years old. She stood about 5'8", weighed around 180 pounds, and had brown hair and brown eyes. She was known to wear earrings in her double-pierced ears, and she had a small mole just under her left eye. Kimberly also had a history of injuries, including a fractured left arm or wrist, which could have been identifying features. On November 26, 2004, Kimberly was last seen in the 100 block of Market Street in Johnson City, Tennessee. Witnesses recall that she was carrying a pink purse that day. Reports say she boarded a bus headed for New York, but after that moment, she completely vanished. No one ever heard from her again. There have been no confirmed sightings, no bank or phone activity, and no trace of her has been uncovered in all these years. Sadly, very little has been released about the investigation into Kimberly's disappearance. Her case has received limited media coverage, which makes it even harder for her story to reach the public eye. As of today, Kimberly remains missing, and her family and friends are still left without answers. If you know anything about the disappearance of Kimberly Michelle McIntosh, you're encouraged to reach out to the Johnson City Police Department. On the evening of July 12, 2015, Tiffany had just graduated high school and was preparing for college, where she had earned a scholarship to play volleyball. By all accounts, she was full of life, excited for the future, and had plans in motion. But after an argument with her parents about a friend's stolen debit card, Tiffany suddenly vanished from her home. Less than 2 hours later, tragedy struck. Tiffany was found dead, hit by a New Jersey Transit train about 4 miles away. What immediately puzzled investigators was that Tiffany had left home fully clothed, but when she was discovered, she was wearing only a sports bra and underwear. Her shoes, headband, and other belongings were later found scattered off-site, under circumstances that remained suspicious. Authorities quickly ruled her death a suicide, but Tiffany's family never believed it. And when you look closer, the investigation raises serious red flags. No full autopsy was performed. There was no forensic testing for sexual assault. Crucial evidence, including clothing, a towel, and even an axe found near the scene, was mishandled or went missing before testing could be done. Witnesses even reported hearing rumors that Tiffany had been kidnapped and taken to the trucks, but those leads were never seriously investigated. Her parents insist Tiffany had no history of suicidal thoughts. In fact, she was afraid of the dark, so the idea that she would willingly walk into the woods at night simply doesn't add up. The case gained new attention when it was featured in Netflix's Unsolved Mysteries episode, Mystery at Mile Marker 45. Since then, Tiffany's family has continued to fight for answers, raising rewards for information, filing lawsuits, and holding vigils to keep her story alive. To this day, the truth about what really happened to Tiffany Valiante remains a mystery. Was her death truly a suicide, or was it a carefully staged cover-up for something much darker? Mary Alice Cox was a 54-year-old woman who vanished from Clarksville, Tennessee in the spring of 2004. Mary lived in a group home on Vivian Drive. She battled several health conditions, including schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and emphysema. Because of these, she relied heavily on daily medication, and sometimes even oxygen, just to function. On March 20, 2004, Mary left the group home on foot. According to her daughter, she said she was going to buy cigarettes, but she never returned. At the time, she wasn't wearing her eyeglasses, and she had reportedly been off her medication, making her even more vulnerable. 3 days later, on March 23rd, searchers found her purse and some of her medication along the Cumberland River, about 10 miles from where she lived. Beyond that, no other clues were discovered. Authorities have said they don't suspect foul play, but her family has always struggled with that explanation. Mary's daughter, Connie, remembers speaking with her mom that day. She later said that her mother wasn't at her best, but she was still able to hold a conversation. Connie truly believed her mom would come home safely. Over the years, there have been unconfirmed sightings of Mary, not just in Clarksville, but also in Nashville, Florida, and even Murfreesboro, where she had family. Yet none of those leads ever led to her. It's been more than 20 years, and Mary Alice Cox is still missing. Her daughter continues to hold out hope for answers, saying, "I know something happened to her. I just don't know what." Her case remains officially open and classified as an endangered missing person case. It was July 6, 2012, around 12:30 a.m., when Skylar quietly slipped out of her bedroom window in Star City, West Virginia, leaving behind her phone charger, toothbrush, and other belongings, signals that she did not plan to run away for good. At 1:30 a.m., surveillance footage captured Skylar entering a light-colored sedan. In the media's eyes and initially to investigators, Skylar's so-called friends, Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf, appeared supportive. They handed out missing person flyers and even offered comfort to Skylar's parents. They claimed Skylar had snuck out for a joyride to smoke marijuana and was dropped back home safely. But their stories started to fall apart. Investigators discovered inconsistencies in the timeline and recorded data. Security footage and cell phone pings placed the girl's car near Skylar's apartment, but later than their stated timeline. Gas station footage confirmed it was Sheila's car, not some random vehicle as they claimed. The breakthrough came in January 2013, when Rachel Schoaf, under emotional breakdown, made a chilling confession in front of police. "We stabbed her." Rachel revealed that she and Sheila had meticulously planned the murder for months. On the night of July 6th, they lured Skylar under false pretenses, drove into Pennsylvania, and ambushed her. The attack was vicious. Skylar was stabbed more than 50 times, dozens of wounds inflicted by her own friends. She fought back briefly, even wounding Rachel in the knee, before succumbing. The killers attempted to stage the scene, covering her body with branches, rocks, and dirt in a wooded area across the state line in Pennsylvania. In early 2013, Rachel led police to the burial site, but snowy conditions delayed access. As the snow melted, cadaver dogs finally located Skylar's remains. DNA matching, including findings in Sheila's car trunk, sealed the case. Rachel Schoaf pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in May 2013 and received 30 years, with parole eligibility after 10 years. Sheila Eddy pled guilty to first-degree murder in January 2014 and was sentenced to life in prison, with parole possible after 15 years. One important thing to mention is that Sheila had zero remorse. As a matter of fact, she bragged about her actions on Twitter, posting one tweet that read, "We really did go on 3, meaning her and Rachel counted to 3 before they attacked Skylar. As of now, both remain incarcerated at Lakin Correctional Center. Parole opportunities are projected for 2028. Gary Richard Weaver was a 30-year-old man. He was hardworking and had a career as a bulldozer operator from Coral Springs, Florida. He was struggling financially, so he accepted a job as some extra work fixing boats and planes in the Bahamas. What was supposed to be a short assignment quickly turned ominous. On December 9, 1983, he called his wife, Donna, to say he would return home the next day, just in time for their first wedding anniversary. But he never returned. Donna went to the airport to greet him, but he never appeared. Weeks passed with no contact. The story shifted from plane crash rumors to silence. Gary was traveling with Jairo Sanchez, who also vanished. The aircraft, a Beechcraft Queen Air, took off from Nassau on that day, reportedly headed for Hog Key in the Exuma Cays. Witnesses say the pilot never made radio contact, and the flight wasn't confirmed. Donna's inquiries revealed alarming discrepancies. An acquaintance by the name John Sims tearfully told her, it wasn't right what they did to Gary. He left behind $1,000 in cash, then vanished himself in what looked like another plane disappearance. Gary's employer, Randy Crew, once the best man at his wedding, had ties to prolific drug smuggling and informant activity. Crew sent Gary on that Bahamas job, fueling suspicions. These connections raised chilling possibilities. Was Gary an unwilling pawn in a drug operation gone deadly? Jairo Sanchez's disappearance shares striking similarities. Same flight, plane, and no trace ever found, forging links between the two cases. Authorities eventually suspected murder on Andros Island. Though Gary was declared legally dead, No remains were recovered, and officially, no one was charged. The case was handed over to the FBI due to its suspicious circumstances. Gary's wife, Donna, spent years haunted by unanswered questions. She believed Operation Airlift, an FBI-conducted investigation into drug smuggling, might provide clues. Yet decades later, Gary Weaver remains missing, and this case remains unsolved. Jessica Foster, born May 27, 1984 in Canada, had dreams of attending university. In 2005, she traveled from Calgary to Las Vegas, invited by someone she trusted, unaware of the dangerous path it would lead her down. By May, she'd settled in the city, meeting a man named Peter Todd, whom she believed to be a caring partner. Over time, however, he became controlling and abusive. Jessie was coerced into prostitution, suffered physical violence, including a broken jaw, and endured arrests tied to sex work. Jessie managed to return home for Christmas in 2005, but was forced to leave the very same day. She maintained daily contact with her family, even as red flags mounted. In late March 2006, she called her sister, sharing hope of escaping and returning home for a wedding reception. That was the last time her loved ones heard from her. Her last known location was in North Las Vegas near Cornerstone Place. Her phone, bank accounts, and credit cards went silent immediately after the March 28th call. She even left behind $20,000 from a car accident settlement. Jessie's mother, Glendine Grant, believes her daughter became a victim of human trafficking, one of 4 sex workers who vanished in Las Vegas between 2003 and 2006. Tragically, the other 3 were found. Jessie never was. Nearly 2 decades later, Jessie remains missing. Without new leads or breakthroughs, her disappearance remains a haunting mystery. Bryce Laspisa was an only child born on April 30, 1994, in Springfield, Illinois. He demonstrated artistic talent early on and was known for his friendly and charismatic personality. After graduating from Naperville Central High School in 2012, Bryce moved to California with his parents, Michael and Karen, to attend Sierra College in Rocklin. He was studying graphic and industrial design and had a bright future ahead of him. In the days leading up to his disappearance, Bryce exhibited concerning behavior. He broke up with his girlfriend and gave away personal belongings, including a pair of diamond earrings his mother had given him. He was also seen drinking more than usual and had taken an ADHD medication that wasn't prescribed to him. His friends and family became increasingly worried about his well-being. On August 28, 2013, Bryce visited Kim's house. During their conversation, he mentioned feeling tired and planned to head back to his apartment. Around 11:30 p.m., he left Kim's house and began driving south on Interstate 5 toward Laguna Niguel. At 1 a.m. on August 29th, Bryce called his mother, Karen, to inform her that he was running low on gas. He charged $20 worth of fuel to their credit card in Kern County. That was the last known contact with Bryce. In the early morning hours of August 30, 2013, California Highway Patrol officers discovered Bryce's 2003 Toyota Highlander overturned near Castaic Lake, about 60 miles north of Los Angeles. The vehicle had plummeted down a 25-foot embankment, but Bryce was nowhere to be found. His wallet, phone, and laptop were left behind, and the engine key was still in the ignition. The back window had been broken from the inside. Despite extensive searches, no trace of Bryce was ever found. Several theories have been proposed regarding Bryce's disappearance. Voluntary disappearance. Some believe Bryce may have chosen to walk away from his life due to emotional distress. However, this theory is contradicted by the fact that he left behind his belongings and didn't access his bank accounts after the incident. Accident or medical emergency. Another possibility is that Bryce experienced an accident or medical emergency while walking away from his vehicle. The dense terrain around Castaic Lake could have made it difficult for him to seek help. Foul play. While no evidence supports this theory, some speculate that Bryce may have been abducted or met with foul play. Over a decade has passed since Bryce's disappearance, and his case remains unsolved. His parents, Michael and Karen Laspisa, continue to search for answers and have maintained a Facebook page, Find Bryce Las Pisa, to keep his story alive. They have also worked with private investigators and offered a reward for information leading to Bryce's whereabouts. Despite numerous leads and extensive searches, Bryce has never been found, and this case remains unsolved.